So I'm not gonna lie, it's been about a minute, but in that interim, I've opened up my own salon and I took my test. And I'm gonna go into that in another video, but in this video, I'm just gonna go over a foilayage conversion that I did. And I wanted to get rid of her foil lines and pull her into more of a balayaged look. So I did a corrective foliage today, and that's what we're gonna cover today. And I used
Oligo comb, and I really like this comb. I'm gonna be leaving a link to this comb in the description box below. Hello, my fellow stylists, enthusiasts, and friends. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Maureen Moody, and I'm the Curious Stylist. And if you're curious, and nerding out on hair color is fun for you, please stick around. And to all my returning subscribers, we all know we're color geeks here. My girl Caroline came in and she wanted to switch out from a foil to more of a foliage so that she wouldn't have as much maintenance. And I'm taking the time to pre-section all of the hair, and it's in about 6 different sections. As you can see, it's the section around the hairline, there's 2 parting down the middle, and then there's 2 in the center, and then there's 1 at the very back part of the hair where their center is. And then the hairline, of course. So that is the 6 different sections. And I am using Oligo's Cool Tone Blonde around the hairline. It gives up to 8 levels of lift, and I am using it with 7 volume peroxide. And it is mixed 1:1. And this is going to give it time to work. And it is not as, this lightener is not as strong as their coolest blonde lightener, which gives up to 9 levels of lift. This gives up to 8. But I feel like if you use a low volume peroxide, it gives it time to work around the hairline. It is very gentle for the hair. I'm using my Ashley Norman foil board, which I absolutely love. And what I love about that is that it helps to get right up to the hairline. And it helps my saturation to be nice and even. So it is one of my favorite products, and I use it. Get into the IRO comb, or the IRO comb. I am in love with this comb. I've been using it for a few months now, and I do plan to make a series of videos about this particular comb and how I used it. But what I love about it is it sort of mimics air touch without having to use your blow dryer. And I really love that because I'm not a fan of the idea of pulling out my blow dryer for each individual section. I'm not particularly fast, and I find that that comb is very helpful with not having to use your blow dryer to do the air touch. I have cut down on my teasing when I use this comb, and that has been helpful too. The difference between this comb and the 3D balayage comb, which I'm going to go into a comparison video with that later. I'll be doing a series of videos on Colora, the hair color line, and some differences that I found between that and Schwarzkopf. And I'm also going to be talking about their glosses. So there's going to be a lot of education coming down the line about Colora and Oligo. I'm really enjoying working with the product. I'm having a lot of fun, so I want to share that with you guys in the next couple weeks. I wanted to talk to you about something else that you notice. If you haven't noticed, what I'm doing right now is putting another foil on top of that foil and then folding up. And I'm doing that as a way to isolate the hair that has been already highlighted and I don't want to overlap. Especially when you're working around the hairline, that hair is very delicate. So you want to take the time and you want to be cautious about that hair and making sure that you don't over process it. I'm going to be tipping it out later, but for now, the hair that's been previously highlighted, I'm being cautious not to put the lightener on top of that. Now, I am going to be doing a series of a couple of videos about the IRO comb. I have a lot of ideas, so the next couple videos are going to be about the IRO comb and things that I've learned along the way is using it. I've been using it for about 6 months now, so I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys. One of the things that I found oddly satisfying when I started working with this product is how well the comb helps to keep your foils nice and neat. Like I found I used that comb to fold my foils, and I really liked how crisp the lines were. So I'm gonna basically continue in doing the same exact thing along the hairline, where I'm just kind of putting foils that are following around the hairline. And I'm gonna go more into this in a later video. But for now, it's been my first video in a few months, and I really want to start simple again because it has been a minute, and I tend to like go a little nuts when it comes to the editing of my videos and opening up my own salon. I don't have as much time to do that, but I'm gonna go into a story about how I opened up my own salon. I also took the Board of Certified Hair Colorist exam the same week I opened up my salon, so it was a little bit hectic, and that's part of the reason why you haven't heard or seen from me in a while, is life was nuts. And I've really missed making these videos. I've really missed you guys. And why don't you leave me a couple comments below on videos that you'd like me to make. I have a bunch of ideas because after I opened up my salon, I had to switch hair color lines. Colora, which is Oligo is a brand, and their color line is called Colora. I think that's what it's called. But they also have, Oligo also has these gloss toners, and that's what initially got me involved with the company. But then I started using their lighteners and their permanent hair color line. And I did use the permanent hair color line to low light her. And we're gonna go a little bit more into that in the next video. I don't want this video to be super long, but in the next video, I'm gonna go into how I low-lighted her and brought some depth back into her hair so that it looked more like a balayage or a foliage. And I erased her foil lines. And you could use gloss for this, but I find that when you use a permanent hair color, I find that once I learned how to use the permanent hair color as a low light, and I'm gonna discuss that in the next video, it ended up being much better. Now, as you can see, I'm working in that center part where I still want some depth to her hair, but I'm gonna leave that alone because again, she's actually going for a deeper look. We are doing the highlights around the hairline, and I wanted her to have an overall deeper look, but I did want it to grow in gracefully and so that she wouldn't have to come so often. So it was a big job. This one was a pretty big job, but I was really happy to get this done and to film it. So now, as you can see, I'm kind of following along her back hairline, and I am using that comb to distribute the hair softly around the hairline. The section I'm taking is not particularly the thinnest section, and that is because I really don't need it to be as blonde as possible, because I am going to be doing a root smudge on her afterwards with the gloss, and I'm going to be using like a level 7 on her root smudge. So making it as blonde as possible is not really what I'm shooting for here. I want to lighten it. I want to make it at least like a level 8, level 9 when I lighten it, but I don't need it to be super, super light. So that is why you're seeing the sections being a little bit bigger than what I would normally take. If she were going to be a really bright blondie blonde, those sections would be a lot thinner that I'm taking when I put the lightener on. And next video, I'm going to be going over the interior part of the foliage and why I place the color the way that I place it and the tools that I use in order to get the foliage to look seamless. And I promise by the end of that video, you're going to understand color placement in a better way so that you won't struggle when you're trying to blur out those foil lines and get them into a more natural look. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and leave me a comment on what videos you'd like me to take care of next time. I'm Maureen Moody, I'm the Curious Stylist, and I'll see you in the next one.